We waiting for him to go live on YouTube. There you go.
All right.
All right, we here. Welcome everybody. We back again. Another Thursday night live. Welcome to Philly Uncensored Sports Podcast.
Here we go. Here we go. Right on cue.
Let's guess who it is.
Yeah, I know. Catch y'all out.
We waiting for him to go live on YouTube. I thought I turned that down already.
Turn that down. Who got that?
It's the
All
brothers.
Right.
It's
Uncensored
the brothers.
Philly Sports Podcast. Catch us on all our platforms: YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, Twitter, the Instagram, and iTunes. Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast. We here. We got a jam-packed pod for y'all.
Yes. Yes.
Wait, real quick. The Instagram. What, you an 80-year-old man now?
The Instagram.
We renamed it. We renamed the Instagram.
We all know the number one thing Philly fans want to talk about, man, is the Ben Simmons debacle. Somebody dropped the ball on this, man. The ball was dropped on this Ben Simmons thing. This growing legs. Now word has it Ben Simmons is not reporting to training camp. He will not come back here to Philly. He doesn't want to play here anymore. Ben Simmons is blaming everyone but himself. He's blaming the coach. He's blaming the fans. He's blaming whoever dressed him. He's blaming the ball boy. He's blaming his shooting coach. He's blaming Markelle Fultz.
Everybody but his brother.
He's blaming everybody but himself. To me, there's only one person to blame.
Yep.
It's Ben Simmons. But the Sixers, to me, real quick before everybody get in.
Oh, I can't wait.
Let me give y'all my couple minutes. For me, the Sixers dropped the ball on the Ben Simmons debacle. Because as an organization and as a team, you have to KYP, know your personnel. You should know what you have on your roster. You should know the talent of these players. You should know his potential. You should know his work ethic. You should know what he eats. This is how much they study these players because they're dumping $200 million in these players. You know your players in and out. So for them to not have a clue as to Ben Simmons working on his game, Ben Simmons' work ethic, Ben Simmons getting better, Ben Simmons shooting the ball is a fault for the Sixers. That's the Sixers' fault. So you know what you have. I knew what you have. I was talking about this last year and I got ripped. I was saying Ben Simmons is what he is. He's never going to shoot the ball. He's going to be this. Trade him when he's at his highest.
No, you wasn't.
I've been saying Ben Simmons is what he is from the jump. I was saying he wasn't going to be a shooter. I said all that. And that being said, the player that he was, if he played as the player he was, we could have still won, at least got to the Eastern Conference Finals. What he did, and to your point, talking about his mental disabilities or whatever you want to call it, but he choked. You know what I'm saying? He straight up choked. Nobody seen that coming. Nobody foresaw that coming. Y'all big problem was with how he was playing during the regular season as well.
You keep saying that, but I kept...
What? Keep saying what?
We kept saying.
Hold on. Let me get my time. You claimed your time, right?
You right.
Claimed your time.
I didn't claim Wayne.
Well,
I was just starting to hit my stride. Go ahead.
Okay. Ben goes so far. I'm sure y'all may have heard this. The reports. I say this. The reports have said from Chris Broussard, who I trust, and his sources. Ben went so far as to say that he would rather play for every other team in the league, including some European teams. No, he didn't say that.
OKC, who's rebuilding, Minnesota, all these other teams.
except the Sixers. So this is what he goes so far as to say. But you know what? Nothing for nothing. I'm not all the way mad at Ben because I already knew this about him. So there's a lot of people who've been Ben supporters for years, and they kind of starting to turn on him because they realize he mentally ain't the dude that they thought he was. He's never going to reach this LeBron-esque, LeBron 2.0, as he was given his name. He's never going to reach this level, so people are starting to turn on him. He has, I think, one legit supporter left, and we're going to hear from him in a second and all his foolishness. But however, all that being said, I'm not mad. I'm not, because I knew that. Wayne and Ethan will tell you, they'll all tell you, I've been said there's something about this dude's personality that I'm just not vibing with. I don't like that. I think he's eventually. I think me and Ethan talked about it before. I don't know if on the podcast, but I thought he may eventually just want to leave to go to a LA Miami team anyway. Be honest with you, after he got what he felt he got from the Sixers, then go somewhere else. But I mean, we'll see what happens. We now are really we have to trade him. I know people saying, "Well, he's in a contract, keep him and make him play." You don't. The last thing you want on your team is a disgruntled player. We got to get rid of him, and now it seems that we're going to take probably way less than we initially anticipated. The floor is yours, Ben Simmons fan.
Thank you very much.
Ben Timmons.
Hey Tim, ain't Ben your cousin? Ben Simmons, Ben your cousin?
Let me jump in right here. All right. About 2 years ago, when we let Jimmy Butler walk. Butler walk.
Didn't we trade Jimmy Butler?
Yeah, let me get my thoughts in. Then we let Jimmy Butler walk. Then what we did was we signed Tobias Harris. We gave him a max deal. That same offseason, we signed an extension for Ben Simmons. We made a commitment to Ben Simmons. He still had 2 years left on the original deal. We made a commitment to him. Now he's here for the next 6 years. So he's going to have been a cornerstone of this franchise. The problem is, y'all gave him the keys. Y'all gave him all of the fortune. Y'all gave him everything. But what you didn't do, you didn't develop him. What y'all did was y'all made him a superstar. And this is the Sixers I'm talking about. They made him not even a superstar, but they gave him the kingdom, but then to prepare him to rule. So now all these expectations that he had under Brett Brown, we saw all, but he didn't live up to them. Brett Brown wound up getting fired. I blame for this debacle, not just Ben Simmons. And this is the point that I'm trying to make. I don't just blame Ben Simmons for what's going on. I do say that he has a lot of the blame, but Doc Rivers has a lot of the blame, as do Morey. Last year, they tried to trade him in midseason. He was upset. He was upset.
I had a cricket loose in here earlier. Where you at?
Last year, last year they tried to trade him in midseason. He got mad. He stuck it out. Then they said they're gonna trade him this offseason. So if you try to trade me 2 times in the last 8 months, of course I'm gonna be like, I'm out with y'all. I'm done with y'all. I can see why he said I'm done.
No, I can't take no more. No, you're not going to spend this. They gave him the keys to the kingdom, and he dropped. I'm gonna use the example I gave earlier. They gave him the keys to the kingdom, and as soon as he walked out that room, he dropped them down the drain, and he didn't even try to get the keys back. And the Sixers tried to help him get the keys because Doc Rivers and them said, "We're sending guys out there to work with you, Ben. We're going to help you develop this, that, and other." And Ben said, "I don't want to work with none of them." So they tried to help him get after back, Embiid. And he turned it down. Because Ben Simmons, like hurt. Said, hurt from who? Doc Rivers only been here 1 year.
But Doc Rivers said,
what did Ephraim say?
Like Ephraim said earlier, and some of these things is some truth to this. Is truth to this. A lot of the stuff they're reporting. They're reporting that Ben Simmons, the whole thing with Embiid and Doc was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons tried to say the Sixers have been misusing him this whole time. How was they misusing him? He said no. So who misused Ben Simmons except Ben Simmons?
This is my point, and I agree with this is my point. What star or what number 1 draft pick comes in and needs everybody to coddle him and work with his game? You do this because you love the game. LeBron, Zion, Jordan. not even to put him in that level, but even lesser superstars like Kyrie and Trae Young and bulls like that. They came in and they worked on their game. Luka, these dudes came in and they worked on their game. Nobody's responsible to go with you to the gym in the summertime. That's your job. It's your job to get better. It wasn't it quoted that Ben Simmons don't like to work out, or at least work on his game. He's lazy when it comes to improving on his skill set and all that kind of. This is Ben's fault. I'm not going to sit here and blame Brett, even though Brett was a bad coach. I'm not going to sit here and blame Doc. I'm not going to sit here and blame Sam Cassell. I'm not going to blame Feibel like Tim. Feibel fouled somebody going for the 3 in the Atlanta game, and nobody brings that up. I'm not going to cape for this ball. Stop it. Let it go. I agree with the bull. Marcin Carter, he said it's Ben's fault, not for performing. The coach put him in position to win the game. He gave a free dunk on Trae Young. Get this bum out of here. It's time to get him out of here. He's finished.
Go ahead, Ethan. What you got?
I mean, I said my spill. I don't. Ben's Ben's a textbook narcissist. That's what Ben Simmons is.
I agree with that.
Extremely, he is.
I agree with that.
Listen, go ahead.
I don't think you got these people in here thinking Ben Simmons going to change if you go that. Ben Simmons will never change. It comes a point when you say somebody he going to reach his potential. He reached his potential. He is what he is. Like Wayne always says, I give Wayne credit. Because even 2 years ago, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, I was looking for Ben Simmons to develop this jumper and do this and do that. Ben never changed. So we got to live with the fact Ben never changed. Now what he did was ruin his trade value by demanding the trade and saying he's not coming back. Not only did he hurt the Sixers in the playoffs, but he continues to hurt the Sixers when he's trying to leave. That's all he's doing is hurting us Philly fans. So stop caping for this guy, Tim. Let him go. Let's get what we can get and go.
I'm not cashing in pennies on a dollar. Just because somebody's demanding,
you don't have no choice now.
No, yes, you do have a choice.
Wow, what are you going? So you going to leave a disgruntled player? Okay, let me ask you this: with disgruntled player, disgruntled player ever, just because in the contract you don't stay? No. You can't say you don't care. It's a reason why it doesn't happen. You cannot have a disgruntled player in your locker room for a team that's trying to win or contend for a championship. It's not going to happen.
And then you sit him, you keep him until you get a fair trade value for him. What you're not going to do is sell him pennies on the dollar. That's what you're going to do. I'm not. No, you don't.
You know what I got to ask y'all? What do y'all feel? What do y'all feel about the Joel Embiid comment?
First of all, let me answer this.
Because I want to address what Ephraim's saying, and this is where I kind of agree with Tim. Whereas though, I at this point, now if you're going to give me some fair value, like if I got trade Ben for a piece that's really going to help my team, fine. I'm not giving him away to nobody. You want to sit out of camp, sit your behind down, and then sit down because my thing is if you
now you hurt the team.
You're okay, but you're hurting the team also if you trade him for no value at all.
Like if you're gonna get something, you're gonna get something.
But that
might not be. It might not be what you think you should get. But let's be clear.
No. Wait. Real quick. I agree with you on that. And now, if you're giving me something of value, I'm fine. But
that's
you're
what I'm saying. You're gonna get something.
You're not gonna fleece me and send me somebody like Rondo for Ben Simmons.
But how is Ben Simmons? How is Ben Simmons that much better than Rondo? Like, this is what I'm talking about. Y'all got this overvalue. You're still overvaluing this guy.
Are you crazy, Rondo? Are you crazy? Are you going to sit there and say a 35-year-old Rondo is better than Ben Simmons?
Yes. A 35-year-old backup player that barely was even in the league right now. You're going to. There's no way in the world I'm going to trade a Ben Simmons.
I would take D'Lo. I would take that. Hold up.
Your team's still not going to go nowhere with that.
Let me finish my thought, and this is what I agree with Ethan. Y'all saying pennies on a dollar like this dude is James Harden, like he Kyrie Irving, like he should demand so much value. His value before he even opened his mouth about wanting to be traded, right? Before he even opened his mouth about wanting to be traded, he already was devalued because his suspect playoff performance was terrible. His value is already at an all-time low. People acting like when they talk about trading to Minnesota and getting D'Lo, people acting like, oh, D'Lo. Hey, I would love to have D'Lo over Ben.
Oh, I would take that trade.
D'Lo over Ben in a heartbeat.
I would take that. I would take that. Wait, real quick though. I want to get Rome $215. Thanks, bro. Thanks for the love. We appreciate that. We definitely trying to keep grinding. But that being said, see this what I'm saying. I agree with some of the things that some of the guys in here are saying. Like I would take D'Lo for him. I would. To me, you're getting something of value. D'Lo can actually help the team. What I'm saying is you're not going to give me somebody that's not going to at least bring something of value to the team. I'm not going to trade him just for that's just like if Golden State says, okay, give us Ben Simmons, we'll give you a second round pick. No, I'm not taking that. You're not just going to straight out fleece me. You're going to give me something.
It ain't going to be suspect. It ain't going to be suspect. It's going to be. I think Golden State was willing to give us Wiseman, Wiggins, and probably
I agree. They should have took that.
We wanted more. They wanted more.
Now that I agree with. I agree. But I'm just saying I'm not just taking any. I'm not just taking.
I'm talking to Tim. I know. I'm talking to Tim.
I'm not
Because Tim keep talking this pennies on the dollar thing. Like his dollar, like Ben's dollar is the euro. No, Ben working with the money that they use over in Costa Rica. That's the money he get.
Really?
He ain't
Really?
worth. He not worth that money.
You're not gonna keep disrespecting the young boy like that.
And Jay, right?
He's not.
Aldrin Jay, he's right. The Kings ain't even willing to give you Halliburton for it, and that's why I'm saying Ben Simmons then put the Sixers in a situation where you can't get no value for you, not even pennies on the dollar.
Y'all have to realize this. We have to realize about Ben Simmons. He didn't put the Sixers in this. Well, he did, but when you trade for Ben Simmons, he put other teams in a pickle too because of how he plays the game.
He plays
good. Huh?
He's a very good player.
Yeah, but you have to have certain pieces for him to be successful. You can't just throw Ben on the team and say, go at him. He gets you 20 and 10. No. You have to have certain players and pieces around this dude in order for him to be successful. This is the thing that I kept saying about Ben Simmons when Sixers was making all these moves. And I said, we actually doing these moves to help Ben more than to help the team. Ben was such an anchor in certain parts of our team that he held our team back, and it showed in the playoffs.
But that's my whole point is if your teams now, because Ben Simmons is making as much of a funk about it as he is, now teams looking like, oh, well, I and remember first of all, Ben Simmons camp changes up every day of what they say. First it's like he only wants to go, he don't want to go here, he don't want to do this, he don't want to do that. Now he's willing to go to all 29 teams.
Is it really Ben Simmons? Is that really Ben Simmons saying, or
who is it? Who's saying it then?
Well, let's jump to what Joel said, because Joel actually had a point about this.
No. Tell me who's saying
Joel
it. Ben Simmons ain't saying it. No, you asked me a question. You asked a question. Is it really Ben Simmons? If it's not Ben Simmons, who's saying it?
All right, now let me read this quote.
You ain't answered the question.
It ties into the quote from Joel Embiid.
No, you asked a specific question.
All right,
now let's address your.
I'm going to answer the question through Joel Embiid's words. He said, "I haven't forgotten, but 2 years ago I got booed. People in Philly wanted me to be traded. I even shushed them. Only the real ones didn't. But I just put the work in the offseason to be better because I knew I wasn't playing up to my potential." But the real quote he was talking about something is the media be making stuff up. He said the media be making stuff up for likes. And he said, don't trust them.
Now, I would agree with that a little bit because in Chris Broussard's quote, he did say that he fact checked a lot of that. He only wants to go to the, LA, the Clippers or Lakers or Golden State. And he said that wasn't true. He said he did find out that wasn't true, but
That's
did
the
say
point
that.
I was trying to make.
So I agree with that a little bit about, the rumors coming out about who he wants to play for and all that kind of stuff like that. So
did Ben discredit that though, Tim?
Ben hasn't said a word. Ben
Why
hasn't
not?
said a word.
He's a chump. He don't even speak up for himself as a man.
I actually agree with D. I actually agree with D. D Market. He said that. Shout out D. He said the thing is, Joe knows he'll never find another unselfish star like Ben, even though he needs help and B don't want to be overshadowed. Now he backtracked. I said that about Joel Embiid.
So wait.
Hold on. Let me get my point off.
You calling Ben Simmons a star? Ethan, you're calling Ben Simmons a star.
Let me get my point off.
Are you calling Ben a star?
I am.
Ben is a star. He's not a superstar. Let me get my point off. If Joe, I told y'all before, Joel Embiid to me is a selfish player though. He's a selfish superstar. I think Joel Embiid right now. A lot of superstar players are caught in this in between being a man on the team and winning a ring. I think Joel Embiid right now would rather be the man and get all the accolades on the team now rather than win a ring. He thinks he could win a ring probably by itself or down the line. But right now, Joel Embiid, I told y'all about this. And I said, I don't think a lot of superstars want to play with Joel Embiid because they all know how he is.
I don't agree with that.
Let me jump in real quick. When Maxey was getting off last year, I saw they put the camera on Joel Embiid. He had like fire coming out of his afro. He was so mad.
So what did Ben Simmons do when Jimmy Butler was handling the ball down the stretch? What did Ben Simmons do?
When
they put the ball in Jimmy's hands.
He pouted because they decided to make that move during the playoffs instead of the regular season.
Was
So
that move beneficial for the team?
Absolutely.
I agree, email. I don't
know. Hey, LaFame, we're gonna talk about the Cam Newton thing. I think Eagles should sign him, but we're gonna jump on that in a second. But I thought they should have waited and signed him over the board they signed. But real quick, the Ben Simmons thing. I mean the Joel Embiid thing. I don't fully agree with that. I do think he likes being a man. I mean, I think every man, the man on a team, likes being the man. But at the same time, I think he wants to win just as bad. I think he knows that if they win, he gonna be the man anyway. Like it's gonna take him to win. You know what I mean? So if you bring Dame in here, it ain't gonna be Dame is the reason why I win a championship. It's gonna be Dame and Embiid.
That's a will.
No, it's gonna be no, it won't. It's gonna be Dame and Joe. So if you brought Dame in and traded B and brought in Tony Allen. Or not Tony Allen. What's the boy you like so much?
Why you got to trade him? Now they got to be together. But you
exactly.
won't win a chip.
That's my point.
You won't win a chip with B as the best player on your team.
And you won't win and what chip have you won with Dame as the best player on your team without nobody like Embiid? Exactly. They need each other. That's Ephraim's point.
That's my point.
They will be two players playing at the peak and MVP type players that make each other better and make it to the
MVP. So
for the man on the team,
no, the MVP will be Embiid. The same way that
who has the ball in their hand at the end of the games?
Dame. He's one of the most clutch players in the league.
So he will be the man on that team.
So when Kyrie had the ball in his hand in the game, at the end of the game in his hands when they won the championship, was Kyrie better than LeBron?
LeBron, why you can't compare LeBron?
Answer the question. Answer the question.
Why?
LeBron is not a selfish player. He don't care about who gets the last shot.
So what? But just because
what you mean so what? That means a lot. It ain't no so what.
Just because you have the ball, Embiid will be the best defensive player on the team. Embiid will be, if not the best, the second best offensive player on the team. He will be the best rebounder on the team. Embiid will be the leader in all his categories. Dame is a superstar, though. So I agree with Ephraim. This will be a co-star type thing.
Every Dame.
First of all, y'all doing a lot of
no knock on Joel.
Joel was okay. The boy Joel, wasn't he mad at Ben for not taking the last shot? Didn't he? He wasn't mad at Ben for not passing the ball. He was mad at Ben for not taking the shot.
It wasn't the last shot.
It was close to the end of the game. What was it? Less than a minute? Maybe something like that left in the game. Listen, y'all heaping stuff on Joel that y'all don't have no evidence of. I'm not going to do that.
I'm leaving them. I know 8 turnovers was on Joel. That's evidence.
Yeah, because your point guard ran from the ball.
No,
if your point guard is handling the ball, then Joel Embiid doesn't have.
So anytime if just because you run the ball, if you have 8 turnovers, that's all. That's
let me put it to you like this. And this is the example I gave Tim earlier, y'all. Tim is when it comes to the blame for this championship, for this playoff run, Tim wants to blame everybody else and say, yeah, I know Ben.
Tim and email love to blame Joel Embiid.
I know Tim was at fault. I know Ben was at fault. But like Thibault didn't make this, and Embiid turned this over. This is the analogy. You have a piece of cake with a hair on it, and you disgusted by the hair, but you're trying to blow it off because you still want to eat the cake. Then the cake falls in a pile of crap. Now you're looking at it and you say, oh, I ain't going to eat that because it got hair on it. No, you're not eating it because the crap is on it. Ben is the crap. Ben was the main reason they lost. Ben was the reason. Yeah, it was some other things involved in it, but Ben was the reason they lost like that. Because they was in position to win till he lumped up because he got fouled and he was scared to shoot. And he's not even scared to shoot, scared to touch the freaking ball. He's the point guard.
Yes.
How hard is that to understand?
I agree.
So you still want to eat the cake if it don't fall, but it still got the hair on it?
Yeah, I'll take the hair off and I'm gonna eat. I'm fat. I don't care.
Okay, there you go. All right, here's my point, because people trying to act like, and this goes. I don't know if y'all want to address this more, but I also want to address the Philly fans, because Embiid made some strong points about Philadelphia fans.
Let's get into it. We Philly uncensored.
Because for me personally, I agree with them 100%. These Philly fans, they believe that we can do no wrong. And I'm from Philly, West Philadelphia, born and raised. But these are some of the worst fans. A lot of them are bad fans.
I don't agree with that.
Hold on. What did they do wrong in this situation? That's what Embiid's talking about. What did the fans
That's
do
not what he's talking
wrong?
about. He's saying they got to do better. Period. You can't just throw a. They got to do better. Period. He's talking about this situation. What did they do wrong in this situation? Philadelphia fans, for Ben, they've been supportive.
I ain't even gonna say back. What did we do wrong in this situation?
He gonna disassociate himself from the Philadelphia fan.
All right. They didn't exactly. I will say that Philadelphia has supported Ben for the most part.
Thank you.
Except y'all two in a legion of others. Y'all haven't been as supportive. But
yeah, listen.
His fans that were there, they were there.
That's all I'm saying. This is where I gotta completely disagree with B, and it kind of irritates me.
No, I don't.
Because yes, I gotta completely disagree with him. Because it's no way, like Ethan said, that you could talk about a fan base who is cheering Ben on even through all his playoff free throw struggles. They both is behind the basket, coasting him how to shoot the shot and all this stuff like that. They cheering for him. When Ben made his first three, remember when Ben made his first and only, when he make like 1 or 2 threes a year, the crowd go crazy, everybody screaming. They supported this dude tooth and nail. And so B, the same dude who to Emo's point, I agree, threw him under the bus after the playoff loss is not the same dude talking about we gotta do better. Nah, bull, stop that. I wish I was in an interview in a press conference when he said that. I would have let him have it. You the same person that threw him under the bus, and now you expect the fans to ride with him as we rode with him all this time, and he fell apart, and we let him have it falling apart. Nah, boy, it don't work like that.
And I agree with you. And this is my thing. Even when in the comments that we got going on now, y'all got to stop with this stuff. Philly fans, front runners. It's not a front runner. You know what a front runner is? A front runner is you don't support the team. You're not at when they down. These are the same people that supported the process. The process where they told you we was going to stink for years. We got Brett Brown as a coach, and you had all these Philly fans coming in supporting that. And you want to sit here and call them front runners? You watch your rabbit mind. You watch your mind. That's not a front runner. And even when Jimmy Rollins called the Philadelphia fans front runners, he went back and reassessed that and said, no, that's not what they are, because they do. But you know what it is? And this is the other part that get me about Ben Simmons. This is what the Philly fans do. You know what the Philly fans do? Hold you accountable.
Yes.
They hold you accountable. If you're giving your best, AI ain't do practice, and Sixers fans ripped them for that. But guess what? They also loved AI. For all that, for the most part, most of the fans loved AI, even with his flaws and everything else, because when he went out on that court, he threw his heart on the floor and he gave you everything. This is why Sixers fans love Embiid, because you say what you want about Embiid, they rip Embiid, and Embiid, like Embiid said in his comments, he takes that criticism and he motivates himself off of it. You got dudes like Ben, they talk about me, I'll quit.
It was first of all, it wasn't quite like that, but
yes, it was.
That's why when y'all originally asked the question, I said they were a little bit more patient with Ben Simmons. I'll acknowledge that they were a little
bit. I got ripped all year,
and that's true. But I mean, and I came a little hard on Philadelphia fans. There's a segment of Philadelphia fans that's crap. They give us a bad reputation.
I mean, that's every day.
No, but it's a lot. It's a big segment of it. It's not like it's a little
dudes eating poop when the Eagles win. They're the same dudes that do whatever for their Philadelphia sports team. So they put their heart into rooting for these teams, even when these teams crapping on them and giving them crap to eat. But they support them. So you're not going to sit. That same passion turns.
No, that passion don't give you a right to just
why don't it
totally net because it don't.
It's passion.
It's not passion.
It give you a right to root or not root or say or voice your displeasure. If you go down there and you mad because he's thinking it up, it give you a right to boo. You paid your good money. It's entertainment. If you're not happy with the entertainment, you want to boo. Now I'm not saying do all the extra stuff when you spitting on people and all the other dumb stuff.
But they do that.
Yeah, I'm not. And
they do it in other places too, but they don't hype it.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
Stop caping for these bulls.
No, I'm talking about.
Didn't they throw water bottle at Westbrook? Didn't they throw water bottle at Westbrook in the other place or something like that? But they hype the popcorn in Philly. But they do water bottles at other dudes, but they hype popcorn in Philly. So
Yeah, I'm talking about rooting.
We know how we are. We know.
I'm talking about rooting within reason. Philly fans will boo you if they feel you playing suspect. They boo the Eagles, they boo the Sixers, and Ben for real, he escaped booing for a very long time.
He did. He should have been booed. He should have been booed for not shooting threes.
So I'm not trying to hear a beat on that. No,
I agree with Phil Evans. I felt just like Phil Evans. Phil, listen, I was saying this last year. That's what I felt. I felt the team last year was a fraud. I think he was saying this.
Yeah.
But I was going to ride with them if they won a chip, but I didn't feel like we would make it. And we was going back and forth with Wayne and Tim over this. I felt last year because of the Ben Simmons thing, I felt that we wasn't going to make it. But
you know what? Now hold up real quick, Ethan. You're right. But Adrian J brought up a good point. Is it a huge shift dynamic-wise between Sixers fans and Eagles fans?
I think so.
It's a little bit because for some reason, I'm gonna say that for some reason, right? A lot of people that's Sixers fans aren't. The city of Philly is so divided between their fans. I'm a all Philly. I'm a homer. I like all Philly teams, but you have these dudes that say they don't like the Eagles. You have Philly guys that actually told me they don't like the Eagles because of the fans, but they like the Sixers.
And they usually Cowboy fans.
I don't get that.
That's what a front runner is.
One is a Raiders fan and one is a Tampa Bay fan. Hint, hint. But I don't get that neither. How you going to say you like? Yeah, I mean, because most fans are the same. But I guess it is a little bit of difference between the Eagles. It's some segment of a difference, but most Philly dudes is Philly dudes. I mean, from what I know, if you like the Sixers, you like the Eagles, you like everybody. I turn in the Flyers every now and then. The Philly, I know Wayne watched the Phillies a little bit. I was there rooting for them when they went to back-to-back World Series. They should have won both of them. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. But I just thought that was an interesting point that Aldrin Jay brought out about the dynamic of the fans or whatever.
Yeah, this is one of my problems with the Philly fan. Well, I'm gonna say with guys in the comments. I'm not gonna say all.
Tim is Sixers fan and a Cowboys fan. Thank you, Email. Good luck.
I'm not a Cowboys fan.
This is my problem. Email is too. So how you gonna talk?
Yeah.
this is my issue though. When it comes to certain stuff, like with people saying Joel Embiid, he can go. You have Joel Embiid is a legitimate MVP candidate every year, other than the injury. No, he was MVP candidate 2 years ago.
Last year.
Was he?
No, the year before last he was before he got hurt, and he was this year. Joel Embiid
before he got hurt.
Okay, but he was an MVP candidate. He is an MVP candidate type talent.
He is. He is. He is.
But that's what I'm saying. So to dismiss that and say, let's get rid of Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is a centerpiece of an organization. That's what he is. Yes. So to dismiss him and say, because Joel in the way, like some of these guys talking like Joel is in the way. Ben is in the way.
Ben is. To me, this is what Joel Embiid to me is. On a big three team, he's definitely number 2 superstar.
Oh man, what Phil Evans?
I'm definitely not a Colts fan. I root for the Eagles. I just don't see it, and I don't see Jalen Hurts. Y'all hyping him. I'd rather bring Cam Newton in that later.
I think you can't win in this league with a big man as your best player. That's just my feeling about the way the league is, and about the way guards can dominate the ball and get you buckets. I agree. I agree with you on percentage wise, but to me, it's almost like the Golden State thing. Nobody thought you could win with the way they played, jacking up threes. But if you design a team properly, you can win. If Ben, and to Wayne's point though, if Ben was just halfway consistent, I honestly think if B could give you the 28, 30 points a game, and Ben could have legit gave you a solid 17, 18 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. If he played like that, we could have won a championship with Ben playing, shooting the mid-range here or there, whatever, just an all-around solid game. Like, let's say like a Tayshaun Prince kind of game. If Ben had his game to that level, we could have won a championship.
You can't touch my knowledge on football.
We could
touch my knowledge on football.
We could have.
My G, I'm going to tell you that.
But I agree with Phil Evans. He said he was arguing with the producer of the Rich Eisen show earlier. He said he from PA, but he is Sixers and a Cowboy fan. And he said, and I quote, "I blame his old heads." That's fact. If you are living in Philly and you a Cowboys fan, somebody has had a fundamental error in your rearing up from the beginning. Something has went wrong.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with that.
Let me ask you this: ain't this how
therapy? And therapy is required.
Yeah,
ain't this how Cowboy fans start off? When I was a kid and my dad wasn't around, and my uncle gave me a Cowboys jersey
from Foreman Mills.
And that was my team. Like
I remember Ephraim had a Cowboys football helmet.
The helmet. And I ain't make me a Cowboys fan.
Nah, it don't. It didn't.
I'm like, come on, man. When you get older, you mature.
Email said Milwaukee just won with his big man.
He's not a real big. He's a
power forward. That's not a big man.
He's a big man.
He is
a big man.
A freak.
Ben Simmons didn't have no old head. You're right, Martin.
I agree with you. This is my whole point with that. And I get what you're saying, though, Ethan, because it's a guard league. It is. But my thing is, if you have a player that's so dominant at a certain position, just because everybody else don't have that, if you have that and that trumps everybody else, to me, Embiid was the X factor for why I thought the Sixers could win. But with that being said, in order for that to happen, you had to have your point guard play like a point guard. And like I said, me and Ephraim said, we said if Seth Curry scores like 20 points a game, if you get this Seth Curry, we could win. And we got that Seth Curry. But we didn't get the regular season Ben Simmons.
Because Seth Curry was giving us 30 points by scoring 20.
We didn't get.
No, he didn't give him no 30.
And this is my other thing about Ben. But this is my thing about Ben, though.
Boy, what was the boy that Trey was giving him 30?
No, Trey wasn't even on Trey.
Trey wasn't averaging. So you tell me Trey wasn't averaging 30 in that series?
He wasn't sticking. Trey was not. Seth wasn't sticking Trey. Ben was sticking Trey.
Danny stuck him the first game. And Ben stuck him the rest of the game.
Trey didn't dominate the rest of the series once Ben. I listen, and I gave Ben props for that.
Steph wasn't sticking.
You know what happened? You know what happened game 2? This is my whole thing about Ben Simmons and his offense. I don't care. This is why I said I don't care about his offense. In game 2 of that series, Ben Simmons had 2 points and we won. And that was my point is I don't need him to be this dominant offensive player. If he can shut down on defense and he can get assists and he can do all that, we can win like that.
Okay, so who are you blaming for us losing a 26-point lead in one game and an 18-point lead in
Ben Simmons. You know why? Because both games we lost. Because both games we lost.
That got to be coaching for the 26-point lead. That got to be coaching.
Let me ask you something. What happened both of them games?
We lost.
They started playing hack a Ben. And then Ben Simmons ran from.
So, as the head coach, what do you do?
And this is my whole point. What you do? You do what Doc did in Game 6 when he took Ben out the game and let Maxey run it, and we won.
Ben got into foul trouble. It's not like he took him out because
but Ben came out the game and we won, right? Because Maxey balled out.
Because he was in foul trouble.
So, but Ben came out and we won.
See, but you know the funny thing
Game
is,
7, Ben stayed in.
But you know the funny thing though, Wayne, and not to belabor the trash Ben point, Ben trash. But the whole thing is, if you would have took Ben out, right, then Ben would have said, "Oh, my ego is crushed," and Tim would have said, "Well, you ain't supposed to handle him like that. You should have let him stay in there and work out his free throw problems. I blame Doc for yanking him, knowing that he was on the public stage, his ego couldn't handle it, and blah blah blah." You did all that goofiness. I know. I hear you in my mind saying stupidness. I hear you all the time.
Rent free. Rent free.
That's exactly what you said. That's exactly what you would have said, and you know it. So I'm done with it. Let's move on to Cam Newton. Eagles should sign Cam. Bring him in here.
First of all,
Cam, man.
What do y'all feel about y'all? I heard the ball Mac Jones.
Hold on, Cam's coming on video.
Oh,
I thought you said bring Cam on.
I'm talking Cam talk.
It
did sound like I was bringing. I gotta have my peoples reach out to him. I think he said he was busy or something.
No, he ain't busy. He ain't got no job.
Y'all think he got outplayed?
He do his own podcast.
They cut him really because of that COVID situation. They said the boy Mac Jones was playing well, but he decided not to take the jab. He decided not to get the jab. Question is,
do you think that's fair?
Yeah, I mean, Wentz decided the same thing.
Well, for one, you didn't trade a whole bunch to get Cam like you did Wentz. Like you gave up assets to get Wentz, so you're not going mess around and trade him like you did. Cam was easy release because you just signed him, so you didn't give up nothing to get Cam. Is what I'm saying. So it's like if you release him and you ain't losing nothing. So
is it fair?
It made it.
Life
I
ain't fair.
I will say this: the one thing I think was what's the new coach, Urban Fryer. He was saying that
Urban Meyer, coach.
Urban Meyer.
Myers.
I was about to say when Urban Fryer.
you know, man.
I see him.
Urban Meyer.
Did we give him a motorcycle? He rode off on a motorcycle. So last time I seen him.
Y'all know what I'm saying. But he was saying that that you do have to evaluate because of the rules being so stringent. Because the NFL has a rule in place that if your team has a COVID outbreak because of unvaccinated players, you can forfeit a game. So in the NFL, when you talk about forfeiting games on a 17-game schedule now, that's still huge. Even though they extended the game, one game in the NFL week to week is huge. So he was saying they do take that in consideration when evaluating. He was the first coach to be kind of blunt about it. He said we see how good you are, your position, and are you vaccinated or not? Because if you start a COVID outbreak and you're not vaccinated, they can actually forfeit a game.
Yo, I actually agree with this bull, my man Brandon Stokes. Cam, Cam is just a bigger, older than Jalen Hurts. Bad decision maker with suspect accuracy. He has a gun. Different than Jalen Hurts. Cam can throw that football down the field. Jalen Hurts ain't got no gun like that.
More.
I agree completely, and that's what I'm saying.
Listen, what are y'all talking about? See, this is just your chance to hate on Jalen Hurts.
Listen, I'm not under any illusion that Cam Newton is this MVP Cam. I don't think that. I just don't see the arm strength in Jalen Hurts. I don't. And in Philadelphia, and this is the same way I felt about Nick Foles. So it ain't just me hating on Jalen Hurts. In Philadelphia, when you get in the wintertime, that wind get the whipping around in that stadium and everything else, you need a bullet. You need an arm throwing bullets, darts through that wind to get to people, not them floaters and all that.
I absolutely agree. I'm trying to figure out, hold on. How you comparing Cam to Jalen?
Because we talking about bringing Cam.
No. I'm talking about credentials. Cam was an MVP and went to a Super Bowl, and you comparing him with a second or pretty much a first year starter?
How long ago? Hold on. How long ago was that? How long ago was that?
I'm just still don't matter.
Asking. Joe Flacco won a ring.
Listen. He said
Joe Flacco is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. What is he doing now?
That's not my point.
I can tell right now.
No. Listen to me. I'm not saying who's better now. I still think Cam might be better. But he said Cam is a older Jalen Hurts. What has Jalen Hurts done to compare him to Cam Newton?
But why are you even doing that? To me, that's just like he's a hater of Jalen Hurts.
I'm not a hater. To me, Cam Newton just doesn't have it anymore. Sometimes it comes to a point.
I mean, you might say now, but I'm not.
But he doesn't have. He don't have it anymore.
Y'all not even gonna give Jalen Hurts a fair shot this year, just the way y'all respond.
No. We are. We're going to give him,
especially you. I know you not, Wayne.
We're going to give him the same shot you gave Wentz.
I know you're not.
The same shot you gave Wentz. Remember, Wentz in his second year was an MVP candidate. But his first year, you ripped him bad. You give Jalen Hurts all these excuses. Oh, the offense stunk last year. This is the same offense. This is the same offense.
Why would you want to imitate me? Be yourself.
No. Do unto others. That's the golden rule. The golden rule. Now, honestly, you already know me. My thing is, I keep it the same across the board.
No, you're a Jalen Hurts hater, and everything you're not going to allow him to grow this year. You will not allow him to grow.
No. I will. I just don't see the arm strength in him. I think his running ability. I think he works hard and everything.
Enough.
I hope he proves me wrong, but I don't see that arm strength in him.
But I'm not.
The difference is, I'm not rooting against him the way you rooted against Wentz. I want my team to win.
I like Wentz.
I'm not trying to. But everybody talking about Cam. I'm not saying bring Cam as a starter. I'm saying, would y'all not prefer Cam? Okay, quick question, real fast.
He can be a backup.
Somebody on the live. Quick, name the backup that Eagles signed. Somebody quick.
Minshew.
Nobody really know who dude is.
Minshew.
Exactly. Like, come on, man. I'm talking on the live. Like all these people talking about Cam Dunn and all this other stuff like that. I would rather have Cam than Minshew as a backup. That's just all I'm saying. Just in case Jalen get hurt, he's sure to be injury prone.
And wait a minute, real quick. Let me address the email because when you Google Jalen Hurts' arm, the first thing pops up is NBC Sports.
You see how it skewed his
Does Hurts have an NFL arm?
First so it ain't. What kind of question is that? Arm. So you already skewing the research. I'm not using you as a scientist.
No, I just said
it's too
listen. My search was Jalen Hurts' arm. Somebody could have came on and said Jalen Hurts has a cannon. That's what could. I just said Jalen Hurts' arm. I didn't say it was a bad arm. But the first thing that pops up is NBC Sports says, does he have an NFL arm? And I felt the same way about Nick Foles. It ain't just Jalen Hurts. I just don't think he has that cannon of an arm that I want in my quarterback.
So you want Ryan Lee? Ryan Lee got a good arm.
Hold on, y'all. I want to change direction, but did y'all know the Nets signed Paul Millsap and Aldridge?
And they did that.
Oh, did they?
I didn't know they signed Aldridge.
They signed Millsap? Oh, Aldridge is back playing again?
He got yesterday. They doctors gave him a clean bill of health.
This man going down on the court. Like, why is he? Bro, just retire, bro. Like, come on, for real. And I'm not saying that as hating.
Why you wish evil on that boy? You just called now evil on him.
No, I'm not. What I'm saying is, if you have severe health issues, I remember when what's the name? Hank Gathers passed out on the court with a heart issue. Like I seen that stuff. I remember when Sean Elliott had a heart issue. Like, bro, it's not that important. Like, the NBA is not that important, man.
And he was like a 12-year veteran.
I don't think Cam can play anymore.
You don't need it.
But does that Brooklyn's gonna be tough to beat. Brooklyn's gonna be tough to beat.
Oh, yeah, Brooklyn will be tough to beat. The only team that's gonna be able to knock Brooklyn off is gonna be Golden State when Klay come back, baby. It's the only team that's gonna be able to do it. But we'll talk about that as the playoffs come around. But
ain't doing nothing.
All that being said,
I don't think Cam can play.
No, I think Cam. I think this year Cam is going to have to be a backup. Somebody's going to have to get hurt, and he's going to have to step up and show he still could play. See if it's shoulder. I saw him on the game, the preseason game. Cam actually looked good. Bill Belichick was raving about Cam. This is what I'm saying. Y'all act like Cam was stinking it up in preseason. For what I saw from Cam, the one game that I saw him play, Cam actually looked pretty good. And then I watched Bill Belichick in an interview say how good he thought Cam was playing. He looked good, and he was executing the offense and blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, he ain't looked done to me, though. He still had a rifle.
He has a rifle, but let's be honest. Cam had one, maybe, I think his first year was great, and the Super Bowl year was great. Other than that, all Cam's
No, Cam had several. He had several good years.
They were mediocre. They were mediocre.
I mean,
they were mediocre. Cam always had a problem with decision making. Decision making was always suspect. And his years was mediocre. He had a great run when he was in the Super Bowl, and I think his first year when he came in the league. Cam Newton is on the downside. Let's be honest. He should be a backup quarterback in the league. Just make his money, be happy. He was a superstar at one point. Now he just be happy with being a backup. He will never be.
2018, his last year in his last healthy year in Carolina, 14 games. He was he threw for 3,300 yards, 67.9 completion percentage. Threw for 3,300 yards.
That's low.
3,300 yards.
67 completion percentage is low?
No, you're talking about 3,300. No, what? 67 completion percentage?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, 3,300 yards.
Right. Hurts is here to stay. Wayne
24 touchdowns. 24 touchdowns, 13 interceptions.
Hurts may be here to stay, but I don't think that we sniffed the championship with Hurts as a quarterback.
67 completion percentage.
Like him.
It's not that I don't like him. I'm judging his talent. I'm not saying Hurts is a crumb. Hurts is a bum. I'm not saying it. I just don't think that he has the talent that I want at a quarterback.
So you saying you think Wentz is a better talent than Hurts?
Oh, absolutely.
Hold on. Miz. 4,000 yards is not. You're not averaging. Every quarterback ain't coming out averaging 4,000 yards. You got the top tier quarterbacks throwing 4,000 yards. The rest is getting in the mid to high three. How many times Russell Wilson threw over 4,000 yards? I don't think he threw over 4,000 yards a bunch in his career, but he's a great quarterback, right? So you can't tell me Miz can say he only threw for one time with 4,000 yards. I'll pull Russell Wilson stats up now. Now, everybody agrees that Russell Wilson is a great quarterback. But just because you don't throw over 4,000 yards, does that mean that you're not a good quarterback? I mean, I'm just saying, Russell Wilson threw 4,000 yards, he threw 4,000 the first time in his fourth year. Oh, my phone jumping all over the place. 1, 2, 3, 4 times in 1, 2. No, my phone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 seasons. So I mean, are we going crazy about that? Because he averaged 3,300 yards a season. Russell Wilson, that's his average. So,
and listen, I don't think that Cam is a great quarterback. I don't. I honestly, I'm not enthralled with the Eagles quarterback situation.
No, might be higher than 3,300 yards.
And I'm irked by the fact that Jalen Hurts is not even playing in the preseason.
It's over. Preseason's over.
Okay, exactly. And because guess what? You and Emil gonna be the first ones that come out here in the first game. If he come up lame, y'all gonna be the first one. Well, he ain't playing the preseason, so he got to get under. He hasn't even played with a top receiver in the preseason at all.
He played with them all over the summertime.
So that was enough. So they're gonna come out and tune in game one.
All right. How often? How much
are they gonna come out and tune in game one?
Why would they? Who does?
Hold on.
You just said
Cam's career completion percentage is 60%.
That's very good. Brandon, let me correct you, Brandon, real fast. I said it before, and I'm going to say it again in case you wasn't listening, Brandon Stokes. We said Cam as a backup in case Jalen gets hurt. I think does everybody not agree with that? The panel here, all four, Cam as a backup. I think,
he's a backup in the league. He's not a starter no more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he can eventually be a starter somewhere. I'm not even saying here. I think Cam can eventually start in the league again. I do.
Emil, you're right. He won't come up lame like Wentz.
Okay, we'll see, won't we? But guess what? He has the best receiver the Eagles have ever. He has a better receiver than the Eagles ever had with Wentz.
He's still a rookie.
See, already you start with the excuses. He's still a rookie. You start with the excuses. Don't. Okay, but who's a rookie? The receiver?
Yeah.
And so what great rookie did Wentz have?
Why
exactly. Your silence is golden. Exactly.
But Wentz also didn't go. He didn't go to playoffs this year's rookie season.
Yeah, his second year. Okay, and guess what? This ain't Jalen Hurts' rookie season either.
This is rookie season.
Here we go with this.
This is rookie season. Stop.
This is
his rookie season.
And guess what? I could vibe with that, except for the fact that you ripped Wentz his whole rookie season and was talking about how trash. You talked about you and Emil talking about how trash Wentz was from this first season.
See, the COVID protocol in Indianapolis.
You're going to find every excuse about them not having this and them not having that for Jalen. And I hope I'm wrong about Jalen.
No, you don't. You don't wish he was wrong. I'll tell you that for a fact. No, you don't.
I do, because if I'm wrong and he can ball, and we can ball out and play and win, I'm fine with that. I want my team to win. I'm not rooting against my team.
I do want to jump. I want to go back to Ben real quickly. Ben
said, Miz, what's cap? He said, hold on one second. He said,
leave Ben on his sword.
Miz said his cap, he did it 5 times.
Alshon the injury bum that he got hot, and that's why.
Hold on, let me address Miz, please. Miz, he did it 4. If you're talking about me, Russell Wilson did 4 pass for 4,000 yards 4 times. One time it was 3,900. If you I guess you rounded up, Miz. But I'm not. Cam had 38, I think, one year. So if you don't want to give him credit for that, then we're not giving Russell his credit. So he did 4,000 yards 4 official times in his career so far, according to the stats that I'm looking at. But like I said,
so you think Cam better than Russell?
I'm not saying that. My point is, Miz was saying just because he didn't throw over 4,000 yards, he only had one good year. That's not true. His MVP year, he didn't throw over 4,000 yards. You want MVP?
Remember, he ran a lot too.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So he added another 600 to 700 yards positive on the ground on top of the passing. So I'm not just holding him. And that's why Russell Wilson doesn't pass over 4,000 yards all the time, because he scrambles for at least a couple hundred every year. So I'm not holding yardage against him. I want to see efficiency and accuracy. I do think Cam sometimes struggles with the whole anticipatory throw accuracy, John, sometimes and all that. But I still think he could be a starter in the league one day.
So now I want to address this. Alshon as a monster.
Okay.
What numbers he put up as a monster? What's his highest reception total? What's his highest reception total? All right, let me look it up. His highest reception total. Okay, 80 in Chicago. In his second year, he had 89 receptions. That was nice. 16-yard average, 7 touchdowns. But other than that, he done had years where he caught last year 6, the year before 43, 65, 57, 52, 54, and 24. So the 2 years in Chicago, he had 85 and 89. So where's this beast of a receiver? When you talking about a dude that's supposed to have this size advantage, never mind the fact that he dropped the ball that Nick Foles put right into his hands in the playoffs. Stop trying to tell me Alshon was a monster. He wasn't. Everybody used to pick him every year in fantasy football, and then he come up hurt, and they be salty.
Yeah, I would never put Alshon in monster category. You can say he was solid.
Hit that like button on YouTube if y'all watch those live.
You can say he was solid.
Y'all don't like me and my prognostic.
Yeah, you can give Alshon a lot of credit. He balled out. You can say he even balled out for us that year. But monster, I'm not going monster with Alshon. Alshon was solid. I liked him until he turned on Carson.
What year did we win the Super Bowl?
2017, was it?
When Alshon had 57 catches and 789 receiving yards. He was
I don't even think he played all the games, though. Didn't he miss a couple games?
Okay, but he had 57 catches and he was a monster that year. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not saying monster. Monster is another level. Monster is like
he averaged 13.8, carry a catch.
Brandon Marshall, monster. You talk about boys like that. Odell, Watkins, what's his name? Hopkins, B-Hop, monster.
Give me more than 2 years. Give me more than 2 years of 1,000 yards receiving before you start calling the ball.
Is it D-Hop? Is D-Hop Ephraim?
Yeah, Hopkins.
You called him B-Hop. You thinking of?
Oh, yes, a B-Hop. I'm messing up on everybody's name tonight.
All right, I do want to
2007 Alshon Jeffery, 57 receptions, 789 yards.
All right, Wayne.
Stop it.
As far as potential trade partners for Ben Simmons, do y'all like TJ McCollum?
I'll take him.
Would you think that's fair value for Ben?
This is the problem.
No, much love, Ms. Much love.
This is the problem. This is the problem. In our Philly minds, a lot of it, not mine, Ben is hyped up to be like an all-star, superstar level. So unless you get the fans what they feel is equal value, because I understand what Ben Simmons is, and most of the GMs understand what Ben Simmons is. But
trash.
TJ, according to the fans, even me, if I want to win a chip, you have to get Joel Embiid a liable number 2. You have to give him a liable number 2.
You don't think McConnell? I'm not McConnell. You don't think McCollum could be a lot? McCollum scored like 25 a game when Dame wasn't playing last year.
Brandon Stokes said anybody who would attempt a jump shot would suffice.
So, and to be honest with you, I think it's time to move on from the Tobias Harris experiment.
We gotta probably eat one more year of him because of his contract. But I do think after next year we probably ready to get rid of him because I don't think he's a number 2 at all.
But that's why we said we need to bring in a number 2 for Ben.
If you bring in a number 2, if first of all, I'm a backtrack a little bit because I think I talked about this a little in the last podcast or 2 podcasts ago. The boy Dame needs to stop playing. Dame's starting to irritate me a little bit. Now he's one of my favorite players in the league. I rocks with Dame, but he's starting to get on my nerves because all right, the whole Chauncey thing, yeah, whatever. You're in with Damon. He got to be he over his 10th year in the league. You see your team has no chance at winning the championship. At a certain point, you have to take your career by the bull by the horns and say, you know what? I don't even go to your organization and be like, I don't even want to come out and make it look like I want to get traded. But do me the favor. Hold my dignity in check. Just go ahead and trade me without me even making some grand proclamation that I want to go. Let me go to Philly, get the moves y'all need, and let Chauncey do his thing with Ben, and let him set up this all defensive Detroit type unit over there, and let me go to Philly and try to win a championship with B. All this, I'm not leaving yet. And all you keep playing yourself. Keep playing yourself. You're gonna wait another 2-3 more years.
Like the post of Ben Simmons saying that he want to play with Ben Simmons, like him and Ben Simmons in the backcourt.
He's what you say?
Dame liked
the post with him and Ben in the backcourt.
Yeah, they had actually.
That's disrespectful to McCollum. See, if I was CJ, I'd be mad about it. I would be mad about that.
If CJ was Ben, he would be mad about it and demanding the trade.
And then did y'all see his podcast that he had? TJ McCollum.
I agree with you, Ms. I agree with you, Ms. I'm thinking they don't want to win. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tim.
TJ McCollum was on a podcast talking about
CJ.
CJ McCollum. I
was about to say that TJ was kind of throwing me off.
It was my fault. CJ McCollum was on a podcast earlier this week talking about being with Embiid, playing with Embiid, saying he's the most dominant. He was worth every dime that he got. They say even if he only played 50 games.
I would take CJ McCollum over Ben easy. I love CJ McCollum. He a ball. I like CJ
honestly, and as much as I've been accused of caping for Ben last season, I think it's a fair trade. I think
that'll put us right at losing in the Eastern Conference Finals.
And then the following year we could work at getting somebody out of here.
Well, you saying about us losing at the Eastern Conference, but I think that would depend on what Maxey does.
Yeah.
If Maxey develops to where as though he can be a legit starting pointing guard,
I don't care what none of them do. We not beating a healthy Nets. I'm not a Nets fan, but a healthy Nets is going to be a hard team to beat.
But they are. But healthy. I honestly think that let's say we got CJ. Let's say we lessen the pot here that we get, and we get CJ. I honestly feel. If we don't get in CJ, I don't think we have to give up as much, obviously. And we may be able to hold on to Tyrese. You hold on to Tyrese Maxey coming off the bench, 6-man, or even possibly starting over Seth, and Seth comes to the bench, however you want to rock it. I don't think Seth Daddy-in-law going to let that happen. But anyway, do you keep Tyrese Maxey on his team with him showing improvements and with him really working on his game in the offseason? I think he's going to come back ready to go for real.
DJ, my man Paul Reed, finally get some burn.
There we go. Yep.
Maxey. Listen, am I saying that they would be the favorite? No, I'm not saying they'd be the favorite. But if you're telling me, like I said, I think that the Sixers with Ben Simmons could have been a title contender if he played the way he played in the regular season. So now, if you're telling me, okay, you taking Ben out, but now Maxey can come in and Maxey can score. So you telling me Maxey, if he could come in and he could score 17 points a game, 16, 17 points a game and get 7, 8 assists, you don't think Maxey could do that?
I think so.
I don't even like that. We didn't even make we made one move on the offseason.
Hey, Phil, I'm talking about his daddy-in-law. I'm talking about the coach, Phil. That's what I'm talking about, Doc. I don't think Doc going to let Seth come off the bench. But what you say with moves, I don't. That's what I'm saying. We talked about that last time, Ethan. We ain't making enough moves yet.
I think they put all their chips on the Ben Simmons trade and what they thought his value was with this dude Maury, who's on the clock with me too, who they thought his value was, and they tried to rob everybody. They tried to rob Golden State. They tried to treat everybody else like they idiots, giving me 4 first-round picks and stuff. It would have been a fair trade if they would have took what Golden State was offering, to be honest with y'all.
I would have took it.
Absolutely. And Ms. I agree with you. I still don't think I really don't think Ben fits nowhere. I don't think he fits in Golden State. Everybody think they got shooters everywhere and Ben could just do this and do that. Nope, I don't agree. I think if they traded Wiseman, Wiggins, and I think it was like Poole and somebody else for Ben, Golden State would have took a huge loss. I think Wiggins is outright better than Ben in every way. And defensively, just as good. He scores way better. He rebounds just as good. The only thing Ben does better than Wiggins, and that's pass the ball. That's it. But
listen, fellas,
that's my opinion.
To wrap this thing up. Any final thoughts? We will be back next Thursday giving our picks for the upcoming.
He does put in the
NFL
Shanghai
season.
Sharks. He does.
So we'll be doing our weekly picks starting next week. I'm going with this Eagles all year long. But
Yes, you should. I'm going with the Colts.
You have any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
Hey, Brandon, real quick, I agree. Give me Buddy Hield or Halliburton, and
Nope.
I think it's an upgrade too. If you trade neither one of them, but the thing
Absolutely.
is, Ben Simmons is putting the teams
Big
in.
moves want the wrench.
Ben Simmons has put the Sixers in a position because he's running his mouth, because he's being a chump.
He said nothing.
He's being a cat.
Nothing.
He's being a little puppy. He's being
No.
all these things. Him and Rich Paul,
Guess
the
what?
Adele loving jerk. Now, Rich Paul is such a that I want to get into that because Rich Paul tried to pit Maxey against the Sixers.
Nah, they came out and said that wasn't true.
It wasn't true. But
Where smoke is fire. I'm sorry, I don't believe that.
Rich Paul been playing the Sixers ever since.
I can see Rich Paul doing that.
Remember LeBron was on a yacht pretending like he was going to give the Sixers a shot. Meanwhile, he was speaking to his agent a couple years ago when he trying to come here. They don't respect the Sixers or the franchises in general.
Is Indy turning on Carson Wentz now that he don't want to get the shot?
No, they're Hicktown. They don't do nothing over there.
First of all, though, truth be told, I don't even think you should have to answer the question like that. Like to the media, like why you
asking me a personal question?
Yeah, that's my personal body decision. What I want to make. I don't even think you should have
But
to.
you know, Cam kind of goofy. Cam probably like, I'm not getting the shot. Like, how about you just say, I'll plead the fifth. Like, how
that's what I would do. I wouldn't say nothing.
But the thing is,
Bill came out and
that's
said,
not what he said. He didn't even come out all goofy like that.
Bill,
but assassinating his character because that's what
I didn't know what he did. I'm just saying I wouldn't have said nothing.
Bill came out and said it had nothing to do with him not getting a shot.
Of course he won't say that.
All right. But listen, we wrapping this thing up. Thank y'all for listening. Don't forget to like the video.
They're going to come
if you're not subscribing. And we'll look forward to seeing y'all next week. Again, this is the Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast.
We'll try to be on time, like 9 o'clock.
I know. We out.
Deuces. Stop it if you want me to keep going.